All right, guys, I'm back real quick. Just got some good news. WBA, IBF, IBO Super Welterweight Champ Swift Jared Hurd will fight Julian J. Rock Williams May 11th at the Eagle Bank Arena. Um, Good fight, Told you guys I like that fight. And it was a fight that's been they've been trying to make, because J Rock's the mandatory after beating Nathaniel Gallimore on the Sandy Lara Jared Hurd undercard. Actually, that wasn't a bad fight with Gallimore and J Rock. That was a good scrap. Um, it's not a bad fight. I like J Rock. He's a good boxer. He's speed, power, he's athletic. Um, you know, Jared Hurd has a hell of a resume. He's got Tony Harrison, who's now champ. He's got Austin Trout, former champ, fought everybody. Landy Lara, who's kind of been a boogeyman in his own right. Long time champion at 154, and he's fought almost everybody. And now he's about to fight J Rock, who's a promising 154 pounder, a lot of skill. You know, um, a lot of mirror images in the 154 pound division. A lot of these guys fight somewhat similar. Charlo, Harrison, J Rock, Lubin, Lara. They're all kind of different shades of each other. Lubin's the youngest, Lara's most experienced. You could say Charlo might be the most gifted. Tony's got the best reach and height. So they all have their differences, but a lot of these guys fight pretty similar. All athletic, all under 30. Except for Lara. He's 34, 35. So 154 is not a bad division. It is a little top heavy, but it's not bad. Jared Hurd versus J Rock. That's a good fight. Um, J Rock, or yeah, J Rock has a chance in there. I wouldn't sleep on him. I think I've yet to see Jared Hurd dominate someone from start to finish. Now that's partly because of the competition. When you fight the best competition, the fights are not going to be easy. You're going to have to make adjustments. But it's the main thing with fighting Jared Hurd is, can you keep him off of you without burning yourself out, without shooting your wad? That seems to be the biggest problem in fighting, really any elite pressure fighter, but specifically Jared Hurd, who's athletic, he has power, he has chin, he's tough. Tony Harrison was outboxing Jared Hurd for 6 rounds and then, slowly started fatiguing and just slowing down in general, keeping the guy off. And then once Jared Hurd started landing them shots, it was all she wrote. Same thing with Trout. That was a fun fight. That was a fight of the year candidate. Trout was doing his thing, but he was fighting the pocket probably longer than he should have. And, eventually the corner had to stop it, because, those last couple of rounds was looking pretty, Austin Trout, his legs were looking a bit out of it. The same thing with Landy Lara, which did win Fight of the Year last year. And really hard to disagree with it, too. It was a fun fight throughout. Lara was landing some nasty straight lefts and uppercuts. I think if Lara ever got a right hook, he needs a right hook. He's got a great straight left. Straight left is money. He's got an uppercut. Great counter puncher. He actually fought better in the pocket in that fight, better than I would have expected. But Jared Hurd's a dog, man. He's tough. I think one underrated skill set of Jared Hurd is his punch variety. I think he has really good punch variety. I think he mixes up the speed of his punches extremely well. Like he'll, soften you with a tap hook and then hit you hard with another, hard hook. Definitely throws punches in bunches. He's rough. He knows how to lean on you, put that big body on you. I think he's around the 180s when he's not fighting. So he's a big dude. And he knows how to be big. It's like what my pops would tell me. If you're bigger, be bigger. If you're smaller, be busier, be faster. So, J-Rock, key for him in that fight is keeping not necessarily just Jared Hurd off of him, but making sure you're doing it at a pace that he's comfortable with. Because if you try to match the pace of Jared Hurd, that's typically when guys get beat, and then they're gassed by the second half of the fight, and they're burnt out. It's not. So managing the pace with a big pressure fighter with power, punch variety, heart, toughness. Anyone at 154, they're gonna have their hands full. Even at 160. Now I do think guys at 160, a lot of them, like Jacobs, Charlo, Canelo, Triple G, those guys hit a little bit harder, than the guys at 154, and they themselves are also bigger and tougher. So it may not be as easy as not survive, but endure 7-8 rounds of punishment and then take over later. May not be as easy at 160. So we'll have to see what happens. I think it's a good fight. I'm gonna lean with Jared Hurd for now. Yeah, I'm gonna lean with him for now, but it's a good fight though. I think J-Rock definitely has a chance. I don't think he did all that bad versus Charlo. I actually thought he was landing the more eye-catching shots. His mistake in that fight was he was exchanging too early with a fresh boxer puncher, counter puncher. I don't think he used enough lateral movement. Because Charlo can box. He has power. Very skilled fighter. I think him and his brother need to work on mixing it up a little bit more, taking maybe a page out of Hurd's playbook and vary. Variety's good. Doesn't mean you can't go back to the stuff or completely go away from the stuff that you do well, but you got to mix it up a little bit more as you fight top echelon guys in your division. So it's a great fight. Undercard's not going to be half bad. I'm looking at it here. You got Matt Korobov, who just gave Jamal Charlo a tough fight. He's fighting Emmanuel Lean, who I don't think has fought since he got knocked out by Hugo Centeno Jr., who Jamal Charlo beat for the WBC interim belt. And also, I think Hugo had his first loss versus Maciej Sulecki, who seems like he's going to be fighting Demetrius Andrade pretty soon. And then also on the undercard, you got Mario Barrios versus Juan Jose Velasco. And Barrios is at 140. I think it's for a WBA position. So, and I like Barrios. I think he's a good fighter. He's got Virgil Hunter as his trainer. I like Virgil as a trainer. Barrios, he's pretty tall. I think he's about my height. I think he's about 6 foot. So it'll be a step up fight for him. Getting closer, and him and his team has been true to their word in terms of probably I would say probably the end of this year they'll go for a title shot. So I'm curious how he's gonna look. So you got a half decent undercard. It's a good main event. So we'll have to see what happens. We'll see how much better J-Rock has gotten since the Charlo fight. He had one tune-up fight, then he fought Ishe Smith and did good early, and then the later rounds it got more competitive. And then in his last fight, Nathaniel Gallimore, who's decent power, he's game, but J-Rock did his thing. He boxed, fought well to the body and stuff. So it's a good fight, Jared Hurd versus J-Rock. You got two in-prime fighters, both athletic, both top 10 in the division, especially Hurd, obviously, because he's a unified champion. So it's a good fight. We'll have to see what happens. Sounds like a decent card. It's going to be on Fox. Good fight. Let me know what you guys think. Drop comments. Hit that like button or dislike. Subscribe. Y'all have a good one.